Hi there, welcome back to Big Fish Little Fish Aquatics. So today I'm actually doing a fish store tour of one of my local stores near here. It's called the Water Garden, and this is a fish shop that I've come to ever since I was really young, and it's one that I think other fish stores in the UK should aspire to. It's a family run business which has been going for around 50 years or more, give or take. And yeah, so let's just go inside and take a look. They've always got some really cool stuff in there, so let's go. So as soon as you come in, you've got two biotopes here. One of Lake Tanganyika, African cichlids looks like here. Looks like a Julie there, and a few shell dwellers. And one of Lake Malawi, which has got, looks like a couple of Mbuna, looks like the Mason Eye and yellow Livebearer. It just goes to show, and I love these types of scapes. It's a hard scape, but obviously there's a few plants in here, but they can make the tank really pop, and obviously the fish are a bit scared because I've come walking in. But maybe they'll come out and I'll get some shots of them a bit later on. Here's the Coldwater section. They've got a few different types of fancy goldfish. These are my favourite when it comes to fancy goldfish, is the Blackmore. These are panda butterflies. And then we've got some tropical fish. These are cardinal tetras. A nice Siamese fighter at the back there. Some flame tetras. It looks like a young firemouth cichlid down there. Yes, it is, yeah. But just look how well the tanks are looked after in here. And this is a store which I've always been able to come to and know that I'm not going to be expected to be sold a fish just for a quick pound. They will make sure that you understand what fish you're buying and it's the right fish for your aquarium. Ah, look at these rummy nose tetras, the perfect schooling fish in my opinion. Some neon tetras. Crebensis, and then black widow tetras. In America they're sometimes called black skirt tetras. It's like a lot of males in here, a lot of male cribs. And here's the female. You can tell because she's got a slightly more rounded body and more of a purple belly, whereas if you look at one of the males, it's much longer. Not so purple. Some penguin tetras in here as well. Colombian tetras. And some bronze cories. Some silver tip tetras, another brilliant schooling fish. And these you don't see so often, some blind cave fish. They're unique. Another Siamese fighter back there, he's a little one. As you can see in the reflection, I've got my mask on. Congo tetras, peppered cories. So these are some lemon tetras, and then right down in the bottom there is some stir-by cories. They're a favourite. There's quite a bunch of them at the back, you can just about make them out. And then here we've got some coolie loach, and see how they've catered to the species needs with a sand substrate. Coolie loach like to bury in the sand, and you can see them all there tangled up at the back. And these are some black swordtails, sometimes called tuxedo swordtails. Now we come to one of my favourite fish, and these are guppies. Sunset males, these ones. And we have a few assorted in the tank just next to it, and look, there's a Siamese fighter in with them as well. And sometimes it's hit and miss with Siamese fighters. I find that sometimes they will go for guppies, but you can get ones which will just tolerate them, and it looks like in here this one, sorry for the glare, this one doesn't seem to mind. Some more swordtails and some small clown loach there. Those guys get massive, around 12 inches long. Don't be fooled when you go into a fish shop and see them this small. They will become giants, so be aware of that if you are going to get some of them. And they do like to school, so you're not going to be able to just get one really. Some wagtail swordtails. And it looks like some kind of Pimelodella catfish, can't quite make out. Obofasciatus, just in there, hiding away at the back. My favourite catfish like that is the Pictus, and I'll see if they've got any of them in here. So this is assorted female guppies, and another Siamese fighter in there as well, beautiful red finnage. Silver mollies, looking very nice. Oh, and here they are, Pictus catfish, one of my all-time favourite type of catfish. When I imagine a catfish, this is exactly what I think of. Long whiskers, big predatory mouth. These guys don't get very big, they'll get about 5 inches in length, but the thing is they're shoaling and they like to swim. So you need to make sure you've got lots of space in your aquarium if you're going to keep those. The other side we've got a whole other rack of aquariums, but just before we get there you can see they obviously sell lots of decoration, foods, CO2 for any of you planted tank enthusiasts, canister filters and wood for your escaping, and obviously filter media and things like that. So they've got everything you could think of that you would want for your aquarium. Right, okay, so it looks like we're at the cichlids. So these are the Malawi cichlids, and this is one of my favourites, is the auratus, which is the one with the band going through its body. And these look like they're just sexing out, so you can see this one here, it's just sexing into a male, whereas the one above is definite female, because it's kept the yellow belly, whereas the male will lose the black bar in the middle and become more white. All sorts of different Malawi cichlids here, some Tanganykan here, Neolamphologus, Zebradanios, these are a staple. And what's really good is that they've got the leopard danio here as well, and these are, I would say, are probably not as much sought after as the zebras. But when you get close to leopard danio you can actually see that it's got a rainbow trout kind of a pattern to it. Purple harlequins, and right next to it you can see the standard lamb chop Raspora. There's some Basmani rainbows in here, and neon dwarf blues in this tank. Really great fish, underrated in my opinion. And we've got some giant danios in here which are awesome, they remind me of salmon. And then we've got here some actual wild blue acara, which since the electric morph has been made, these seem to have declined, but it's great to see them still in the hobby. Some golden sucking loach down the bottom here with some mountain minnows. Excellent shoaling fish choice, the mountain minnow. Oh, this is not something you see every day. So we've got lamprey rasboras. I'll try and get some smaller shots of these, but these are really striking fish. Albino tiger barbs and a whiptail catfish, one of my favourites when I was younger. We're in Barb Town, some rosy barbs, checkered barbs are the smaller ones. Again with barbs, a lot of the time you can find that they don't colour up right until they're a bit older. So you've got here rose line torpedo barbs or red line torpedo barbs. Platinum angelfish, a beautiful fish, angelfish, yeah. Get them on all kinds of morphs. They're in there with some ruby sharks. You can tell it's a ruby shark because it has red on all its fins compared to its relative here, the red-tailed black. It's just got the red tail rather than dorsal and anal fins and whatnot. And we've got zebra angels. One of my favourites. They closely resemble the wild form, which is what I like. And then also some albino rainbow sharks in here, which I can't seem to spot. But there definitely is some marbled angelfish, and they look really nice. Now we're into some pencilfish, and what seems to be a fan favourite is the Borneo pleco. These guys need a lot of oxygen in their water, and right next door you can see they've got some zebra plecos, and you can see the difference. These are not Hypancistris zebra plecos, the Chinese zebra plecos. They've got the stripes, whereas the Borneo pleco is more spotted. So obviously it's not just fish in here and decorations, you can actually get live plants, and they've got an amazing selection here, all sorts of plants, and I'm not too clued up on the plant side of the hobby, but you can see here there's so many different ones to come collect and gather here. So this is an Amazon sword, that's always a favourite, but they are quite soft leaves, so if you have anything like a bristlenose pleco, say goodbye to the Amazon sword. Some Anubias. Love the reds on some of these plants. And it's nice that they're kept separate from the fish to avoid as much as possible contamination when you take these home, put them into your tank. Always make sure you wash your plants before you put them in. And out of nowhere there's a Mabu puffer in it. Majestic fish, these are a true pet fish. They require a lot of feeding, but absolutely amazing fish. You need to feed them a lot of hard shelled foods because their teeth obviously will keep on growing. Just having a stretch. And up top some African butterfly fish. One of my favourite fish, African butterfly fish. They remind me of an arowana with their trapdoor like mouth, waiting at the surface for their prey. These guys are normally insects and things like that, but obviously if you have small fish they will take them down. And then we have some albino and red tiger oscar, absolutely beautiful fish. Another pet fish, and these guys get massive, so you could be fooled if you... Here's my hand. They're very small at the moment, but they will get massive, around a foot long, about half a foot width. Big fish, amazing fish. Another display tank, and we've got some tuxedo platies and some cherry shrimp. See CO2 running in here, and an Amano shrimp on there. Stunning. We've got loads more Livebearer platies. There's some of those tuxedo platies we looked at a second ago, with Cynodontis catfish along the bottom. All different types of platters. And we've also got black phantom tetras, and unfortunately can't quite see them there. I'll try and get a close up. Glow lights. Corydoras, and there's an armoured shrimp down the bottom there. Every fish you could imagine, they've got them. So there it is. I hope you enjoyed the tour. It's an absolutely incredible shop. If you're anywhere near the southwest of England, make sure you pop in. I'll leave a description in the description below, the address and obviously the website, so go check it out. Make sure you show them some love on Facebook and things like that, and I'll see you in the next one.